The chair recognizes Mr. Issa.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Secretary, we'll kind of look backwards and forwards. Next month, you'll mark your 61st birthday, and
don't remind me.
Well, at my age, I'm jealous. But Mr. Secretary, you're one of the most qualified secretaries during my tenure. You have spent a very long time learning history and being prepared to not repeat it. So I'm going to give you just a couple of names: Saigon, Tehran, Benghazi, Tripoli, and Kabul. Each one of those, to most people in the State Department, represent a failure to smoothly withdraw, a failure to anticipate, and the like. Now, the chairman had a fairly lengthy discussion with you about what the committee wants and needs in order to do its oversight. And in a very Kissinger-like way, you gave answers not to his questions, but answers that were the ones that you came here prepared to give. Mr. Secretary, I have with me, you'll recognize it, this is what your discovery looks like often. This is actual discovery from the State Department. I might suggest to you, after our mutual many years of doing this, that your best choice is accommodation when appropriate, compliance when a subpoena comes, which means that this sort of redaction cannot and shall not be accepted by Congress once a subpoena is issued. I might also suggest that if you deliver something under the cloak of being secret or top secret, that redaction is by definition inappropriate. That in fact, if we view in camera, redaction is inappropriate. If today you can make the commitment that when the accommodations to this and other committees, but particularly this committee, when the accommodation is that we receive information in some in-camera form, that it be delivered sooner, not later, and redacted only for actual claimed privileges. If you can make that commitment, I think the chairman can rest assured that we won't be getting what I sometimes call a black cow eating a licorice at midnight.
Thank you, Congressman. I appreciate that. What I can commit to is this. I can commit, as I have committed to the chairman, to finding a way to make sure that this committee gets the information that it rightly needs to conduct its oversight. And I need to do that in a way that, of course, as I said in the case of the descent channel cable, protects the integrity of that process, but making sure that you get the information. More broadly, when it comes to documents, of course, we have national security considerations. There may be legal considerations, but I take the point that you're making. I want to make sure that you get the information,
well, and
that information
Mr.
is
Secretary,
not unnecessarily
since you've sat behind the senators, and you've been on the other side, you're well aware that this co-equal body determines what it believes it needs to be seen. And with the exception of actual stated privileges, the court, if we have to go that far, makes it very clear that, in fact, we determine, not you, what our legislative needs and need to know is. So I might suggest that although that answer, again, in a very Kissinger-esque, I appreciate it.
I'll take that as a compliment.
It is. But please, put the other hat on that you wore when you sat on this side of the dais and recognize that the accommodation of sooner rather than later, in camera, if the chairman and the committee agree to it, allows us to then debate the smaller portion that might need to be made public or in some other way disseminated. I'd like to take an opportunity, because the world is listening, to speak past you for a moment, Mr. Secretary. The people who wrote the dissent cable are free to come to this committee, free to come to our staff, and free to come to the chairman as legitimate whistleblowers, to be fully protected. And if they come forward and produce their names, then I submit to you that at that point, the statement you made here today is moot. That in fact, any member of the State Department who comes forward as a whistleblower on behalf of dissent of any sort leading up to the failed withdrawal from Kabul would be taken as a waiver of that history that we noted all the way back with the not late and in good health in New York, Henry Kissinger. And with that, Mr. Chairman, I thank you and yield back.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. Turn on your notifications so every time I put out a video, you can know about it. It'll come up in your feed. Hit that like button if you liked it. And be positive. Peace.